Welcome to Ashman Digital News, your trusted source for tech insights that matter. This is your weekly tech news roundup for March 2nd, 2025. This week, a landmark quantum computing breakthrough has scientists rethinking previously established limitations, while major cloud providers face unprecedented regulatory scrutiny across multiple continents. Let's dive in. First up, IBM has achieved what many are calling a watershed moment in quantum computing. Their latest quantum processor has demonstrated reliable error correction at scale, addressing one of the most significant barriers to practical quantum computing applications. The new processor, named Condor Plus, uses a novel approach to qubit arrangement that allows for more stable quantum states. Dr. Emily Rodriguez, IBM's quantum research director, explains why this matters. What we've done is essentially create a system where qubits can maintain coherence long enough for complex calculations to complete with reliable results. Previous systems would accumulate errors too quickly, making practical applications impossible. So what does this mean for you? While we're still years away from quantum computers in your home, this breakthrough accelerates the timeline for quantum applications in drug discovery, materials science, and financial modeling. Companies like Merck and J.P. Morgan Chase have already announced partnerships to utilize this technology through IBM's quantum cloud service. Industry analysts project that within 3 years, we could see the first commercially significant quantum advantage in specific computational problems. The implications extend beyond just faster computing. Quantum systems approach problem-solving fundamentally differently than classical computers, potentially opening doors to solutions for challenges we previously considered computationally impossible. Our second major story takes us to Brussels, where the European Commission has launched a sweeping antitrust investigation into the business practices of 3 major cloud service providers: AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. The investigation centers on what the Commission calls potentially anti-competitive bundling practices and restrictive data portability limitations. In simpler terms, they're examining whether these companies make it too difficult for customers to switch providers or use services from multiple vendors simultaneously. Margrethe Vestager, the EU's competition commissioner, announced the investigation at a press conference yesterday. Digital infrastructure is the foundation of our modern economy. When companies control such critical resources, we must ensure they compete fairly and don't unfairly lock customers into their ecosystems. This isn't the first time these tech giants have faced regulatory scrutiny, but it is the first coordinated global effort focusing specifically on cloud infrastructure. Similar investigations have been announced in the UK, Australia, and South Korea within days of the EU announcement. The timing is particularly significant as businesses worldwide accelerate their migration to cloud services, with global spending projected to exceed $1.3 trillion this year. For consumers, this could eventually lead to more flexible cloud services, potentially lower prices, and improved options for data portability. For businesses, especially those operating internationally, navigating these evolving regulations will become increasingly complex. Our third major story concerns a critical security vulnerability discovered in the MQTT protocol, a widely used communication standard in Internet of Things devices. Security researchers at Cybereason have identified a vulnerability they're calling BrokerBreak that could allow attackers to gain control of devices using unpatched MQTT brokers. This affects potentially billions of connected devices, from smart home products to industrial sensors. Here's what you need to know. The vulnerability primarily affects devices using MQTT version 3.1 with specific broker configurations. Major manufacturers, including Samsung, Philips, and Siemens, are already rolling out firmware updates for affected products. If you have smart home devices, here's what you should do. Check manufacturer websites for security updates. Make sure your devices are set to auto-update if possible. For critical systems like security cameras or door locks, consider temporarily disconnecting remote access until patches are applied. This discovery highlights the ongoing security challenges in our increasingly connected world. The researchers responsibly disclosed the vulnerability to affected companies before going public, giving them time to develop patches. Apple has officially announced its Worldwide Developers Conference for June 9th to 13th, where we expect to see major AI enhancements to iOS and potentially their long-rumored AR glasses platform. Invitations sent to developers included the tagline Vision Forward, fueling speculation about expanded reality features. Samsung researchers have demonstrated a new solid-state battery technology promising 30% longer life and significantly faster charging times than current lithium-ion batteries. The technology uses a novel silicon-based anode and solid electrolyte. Samsung claims this could reach production within 2 years, potentially revolutionizing both mobile devices and electric vehicles. Changes to Twitter's algorithm are sparking widespread user complaints about reduced post visibility and inconsistent timelines. The platform acknowledged the updates but defended them as optimization for engagement. Several major advertisers have reportedly paused campaigns until the situation stabilizes. The latest virtual reality headset sales figures show surprising growth in the enterprise sector, with business applications now accounting for 47% of premium headset purchases. This marks a significant shift from the consumer-dominated market of previous years and suggests VR is finding sustainable business use cases in training, design, and collaborative work. Finally, a comprehensive digital privacy survey conducted by Pew Research reveals that 78% of Americans now report taking active measures to protect their online privacy, up from 62% just 2 years ago. The most significant change was seen in adults over 65, suggesting privacy awareness is broadening across all demographics. Looking across these stories, we're seeing an accelerated convergence between physical and digital security concerns. Traditional security companies are increasingly acquiring software security startups, with 3 major acquisitions announced this month alone. This trend reflects the reality that as our physical environments become more connected through IoT devices, security vulnerabilities can have real-world consequences beyond just data breaches. We'll be watching this convergence closely in the coming months. Next week, we're expecting the Department of Commerce to release its comprehensive report on semiconductor supply chains, which should provide insight into the effectiveness of recent domestic manufacturing incentives. We'll also see earnings calls from NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel that will give us clearer indicators of hardware sales trends and AI chip demand. And the long-anticipated Senate hearings on AI regulation begin on Tuesday, with testimony from leading AI researchers and industry executives. For Ashman Digital News, stay informed, stay secure, and we'll see you next week.